will you please scream for me an MLG? Thank you. Okay, the game is starting. We'll put this up on screen for you guys in just a minute. MMA against Losira, Terran against Zerg. This is going to be a pivotal match.
Yeah.
These two guys, very good at their respective races, really representing the Korean metagame, now kind of penetrating the international metagame here at MLG.
First map will be Tal'Darim Altar, and we have down here in the bottom left from Slayers Boxer's own team, used to be on SK Telecom in Starcraft 1 as a B-teamer. Now he is their team captain and their ace. It is SlayersMMA.
And a little bit of hiccup here in the latency. This should resume soon.
And then up here in the top left, we have, well, he used to be known as Thunder Foyu, and he was on KT in StarCraft 1 as a pro gamer. Terran switch over to Zerg in StarCraft 2. It is the one and the only Code champion, IMLosira.
Losira, such a scary guy, but MMA, this guy is, I think, one of the more clutch players that we've seen here, especially in the GSL Team League. You know, he really astounded us. Being mentored by Slayers Boxer, that's probably the best StarCraft 2 coach you could ever have.
Look, anyone he chooses, whatever Slayers Boxer says about a player is true. It is just, that is kind of the way it is, Tasteless. You know, he has called so many top players. He has coached so many. He has chosen so many. The people that came out from under his roof, people like Fantasy in StarCraft 1, people like MMA in StarCraft 2. He called Stork being one of the greatest Protoss of all time years and years before anyone even knew who he was. The guy is a legend, and he knows RTS like no other.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't give it a much better coach than that, but at the same time over here with Losira, I mean, this guy lives with Nesty. He trains with Nesty, the best Zerg in the world.
Yeah. I mean,
Professor
Losira,
T.
I might put Losira as second, you know.
You think so?
Losira, Idra, Damaga, Sen, they all, to me, are just a step behind Nesty, though. Nesty, unbelievable. If you have his replays and him to talk to in your first language, Korean, you are simply going to be amazing.
Yeah, Nesty, of course, was a somewhat failed StarCraft 1 professional gamer, turned StarCraft 2 professional gamer, turned basically the best Zerg in the world. I think the IM team, although the Slayers team is incredible, I think the IM team with Nesty on it and Losira, MVP, it's got, basically it's the best team in the world. So
don't forget your little crush Seed, Tasteless.
Seed, the greatest Protoss in the world. Younghwa. Now he's making an extractor over here. I think he might be waiting to see if is there going to be an add-on. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if you can quite see it from that distance, but we'll see.
And look at MMA, just reacting, moving his barracks back. He will be making a reactor, no doubt. Drop that down, make your reactor. A little bit slow about it. There you go.
All right, so Losira, you know, a nice move there with the extractor just to get a little bit of extra vision.
And the fact that that barracks flew away and there were 2 Marines, that kind of gives Losira all the information he needs. We should see a spine crawler going down relatively soon just to make sure that the Hellions can't really do any damage to him.
You know, we've seen a lot of these Hellion openers, sometimes with just 2 Hellions, sometimes with 6 to 8. What approach do you think is the best? Do you think it's based off whether or not you have the element of surprise? Do you think it's more based off of the positioning at the entrance?
You know, I love 4 Hellions. I love the harassment that you can do with 4. It really makes it scary to chase them down with Zerglings. 2 aren't really that scary, Tasteless. I don't care if you're scared of Hellions. It's not that scary to a normal person. Stop being a win. But what I really liked seeing was Liquid TLO's Hellion usage. Not necessarily the all-in he was doing, but just sitting them in front of the creep after you're done harassing and stopping creep tumors.
Yeah, it's a great thing on this map, especially because it's so big. Getting right up there, denying that is a very good maneuver. Nice job by MMA killing them off. The Zerglings, before the Hellions come out, that'll give the Hellions a little bit more of an element of surprise. Spine crawlers do make pretty slowly, so getting that out right away is going to be key.
And And in fact, Losira has not made a spine crawler. He is getting a ton of Zerglings, 24 Zerglings on the way, and speed. It looks like Losira may in fact get really aggressive here. The 2 Hellions coming up, but again, 2 Hellions, not all that scary. These Slowlings going to chase them and burn very badly, but speed is almost done. Between speed finishing and the Queens, Losira should be fine.
Yeah, it looks like he should be able to sandwich these Hellions. Speed just now finishes. These Hellions are in trouble.
You know what? Losira has shown that he has a quadrillion Zerglings here, Tasteless. MMA should actually be walking back into his base.
Yeah, this is a little risky.
Yeah, this is really risky. He saw a lot of Zerglings in the main. He saw a lot at the natural. He needs to think something is up here.
He's actually just going to ignore the bunker entirely, going over here into the main base.
Losira knowing that was not a tight wall in, and now this MMA is going to be in trouble, going down after these SCVs, killing off a bunch of SCVs. The Marines are coming in. He's going to have to use those SCVs as well, losing 2 mules mining time here. That's quite huge. And some Hellions popping out. Nice surround right there, taking out that Hellion. More Zerglings on the way. The wall-in is down. They go straight in, and Losira, at the drop of a hat, has a ton of Zerglings all over the place, and suddenly MMA looking like he is in too much trouble. Can he even recover from this? Can he kill off these Zerglings?
It's a good question. I mean, at this point in time, you can see Losira's cranking out a ton of drones. If you look at the worker count here, it's 43 drones to 15 SCVs.
Wow, that is quite an imbalanced number, Tasteless. Also, another hatchery going up right there for Losira, getting insane amounts of drones. His economy is just light years ahead of MMA, and with that additional macro hatch, he can do basically anything he wants from here.
You know, it's interesting, and one indicator that Losira really is a talented player is the fact that Losira did not keep making Zerglings. He did not keep streamlining that down there and trying to overwhelm his opponent. Instead, he sits back, he says, all right, I've already done enough damage. Now I'm just going to focus on making a ton of drones. So, you know, I'm 3 times ahead instead of 2 times ahead, but going to risk it and try to win there.
And look at this, making some more Zerglings, getting a Baneling nest. Looks like he might do some high econ Baneling aggression. I love how he's doing this, Tasteless. He does a round of drones and then a round of lings, and that is how you do it. That's how you maximize Zerg and in all their glory.
All right, as you can see, the orbital would ideally want to be out here. I'm like anthropomorphizing the orbital. Ideally, MMA would want to have the orbital out here, planted, but of course, he doesn't know what's out there. I mean, look at the vision on for Losira, for instance, at the bottom right side of our screen. Has a good amount on the map. Look at MMA. He's completely in the dark. He doesn't know if there's a ton of Banelings out there, Zerglings. In fact, Losira has nothing at all. Well, right, as instead a bunch of Zerglings come down, but he's been making a bunch of drones, and for the time being, you know, MMA is in a defensive posture.
He certainly is. Now these Zerglings coming up a little bit, and they're just going to go for it, it looks like. Chasing down those Marines, skipping the bunker, beautiful surround, and those Marines will go down ever so quickly. Additional Marines coming out, but if they go too far, and those Zerglings will turn around and kill them into the SCV line, and I think that we may see MMA GG sometime soon here. There's just hardly anything left over, and with the amount of drones that he has, 19 SCVs against 57 drones, 30 lings out on the map. Oh man, he has more lings than this guy has supply.
There's almost no way to recover from this specifically right now. As we can see, he's continuing to crank out Zerglings back and home. Losira's MMA just trying to keep these SCVs alive, but of course over here at the orbital, more Zerglings are attacking there, so there's nowhere that SCVs can really mine safely for the time being. More Zerglings streaming down here. There is a Spire on the way back in the Zerg's base. This is getting ugly, Artosis.
Oh, it is, Tasteless, but from one perspective, it's getting beautiful because Losira is tearing MMA apart. He is showing why he is one of the greatest players in the world. And look at this, a ton more Zerglings, and this actually should be it. There's almost no units left for MMA. He has 6 Marines, 2 medevacs, and 24 SCVs against, well, 107 supply of Losira.
The links stream in here. Even if he has to use the SCVs to help defend here, it's just not going to be enough. So many SCVs killed off. So many more, no more Marines now. But Mule Switch that could attack in a moment like this. That should be GG. The game is over. We're going to go into game number 2 pretty soon here. There it is, GG.
Wow. Wow. You know what? Losira showing how decisive he truly is. It's a beautiful thing to see. This is actually something we saw in Starcraft 1 right before Jaedong really rose up, where he was just so decisive, and it was like, whoa, that is actually how you're supposed to play Zerg. He saw that there was a command center fixing that wall in. Now, why did that happen? That happened because he made the gas to check for the add-on of the barracks, and then the barracks flew away to make the add-on where he couldn't see it. So Losira made him fly that away. He put the command center that didn't make a full wall in, and Lucira's like, I'm going to make some speedlings, and he just runs right into the wall. The decisivity of that was astounding.
We're waiting to see if these players are going to make the game anytime sooner. For now, we're going to cut to commercial. We'll be back soon here at MLG.